Find yourself venturing into a world that is unfamiliar to you in every single way. All you have to your name is your wits and a broken phone that has no internet. But wait, you have the MidFall Podcast in your hands. Here you can listen to the tales of your three hosts, Luis, Josh, and Jared, as they venture through their own creative woes and whatnots. Get ready to be entertained through your wildest dreams as you conquer and face this new threatening world.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the MidFall Podcast, Season 2. This is Episode 15. My name is Josh. I'm joined by my cohorts, Luis and Jared. What is good, gentlemen?
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, so just like every podcast, we're going to mention some things real quick. The biggest thing I want to mention is actually something Luis has to mention that he just told us that is pretty exciting.
Yeah, it was cool. So just a really quick thing, a little shout out to Lyson Beats on Instagram. He just came out with a new loop kit, and you can go ahead and check that out if you produce music or are musically inclined and stuff like that. But he was able to go ahead and check out a beat that I made earlier today, and that was just really cool because he is I'd say my second favorite producer. My first is probably someone that he could also be like fine with, being second to, but that's just Scrum from the Suicide Boys. But yeah, just a cool little thing just to get some acknowledgement from someone I look up to. So keep doing your thing, everybody, and then the acknowledgement feels nice.
Yeah, I think it's amazing, dude. Jared could probably add on to this too, what I'm about to say, but Luis has put a lot of work into his craft, as has Jared, and they've been trying to get me to hop on and make stuff. And something, I think we might have mentioned this in the last episode towards the end, that we started working on a song or something like that.
Yes, sir.
We did finish the song, actually. Do we have any idea of when we want to release that song, fellas?
This month, you guys can hear. It's still to be decided whether how many songs are in this little tape. But once that number is fully decided, then yeah, it'll be good to go. Because as we saw with Black MidFall, we can just pump them out. Yes, so yeah, but yeah, the workflow definitely had to get pushed a little bit. And there was some efficiencies found, which is cool,
Like, y'all don't understand. Like, this man makes bops like none other. He just sent me that song just earlier today, and honestly, I was enjoying every single second of it. So this man deserves his flowers. Go check out Black MidFall. Go listen to his stuff, man.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, speaking of Black MidFall, if you guys want to check out a collection we put out of clothing, I think we also have a poster, correct me if I'm wrong, on curserumcrypt.com. So
yes,
if you guys want to check it out, definitely support us. These guys put a lot of work into these designs and also into the music. I was there for the ride, if I'm being honest, even though we might have, lost a leg or two or an arm or two on that ride. But but yeah, outside of that, is there any other announcements you guys want to make, or am I good to go with the topics of the episode?
Just the title of the next mixtape should be The Boys Go South. So that should give you kind of an influence as to, or an idea. We are going on a totally different vibe than Black MidFall. Not necessarily totally different. I really like that middle section, the 3 spinning round, and what was that? Kicking Back. Well, how could I forget? Kicking Back. But
yeah, Kicking Back was one of my favorites.
I'm going ahead and going further into that little sound for this little tape. So yeah, that's just it.
Yeah. All right, then let me go ahead and move on to the first major topic of this podcast. I'm not sure about you guys, but I mean, you guys have heard of this game. Marvel Rivals is actually coming out in 3 days from when we're recording this. It's gonna be out by the time this podcast comes out, this episode. December 6th is the release date for Marvel Rivals. If you guys want to check our Discord chat, the one that we're in, there's the MidFall Podcast Discord channel. And in that channel, I put some pictures of the characters that are currently announced to be in the game. And so I wanted you guys to look at these characters and really consider, okay, I'm feeling this character just looks wise, vibe wise, or I've seen gameplay of this character, I like this character, and so on. What character of the list that you're looking at could you see yourself playing as if you were to play Marvel Rivals, which for anyone who doesn't know, it's kind of like Overwatch mixed with Marvel, and it's just better, to be honest. I've played it a few times myself, and this is going to be something I record on No Respawn. More than likely, this is going to be a staple series if I can get into the game a lot more like I was in the past.
I'd say Wolverine, honestly. That's just because it's my default thing, but honestly, I was pretty drawn to Iron Fist and Cloak Dagger.
Yeah. What about you, Jared?
For me, I was kind of eyeing Adam Warlock, Magneto, or possibly, Moon Knight. Moon Knight, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Honestly, I really like how they kind of went about their designs for each character, and it still looks like the core character, but looks like they're souped up, ready for some kind of crazy antics that are about to happen.
I realized exactly which specific picture we were talking about now. Continue with that thought.
Yeah. No worries. What were you saying, Jared?
Oh no, that was about it.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I agree. I really like the vibe of the game, just the style. If you look at the characters, they have this it feels like Spider-Verse in a sense with the strokes of the line art and stuff like that on the characters. Everything looks very alive. They don't just look static and ugly or anything like that. I don't think I've hated. Yeah, they look very dynamic, especially with their hair. The hair flows and everything, animations, voice lines, all that jazz. But for me, character-wise, I've tried every character in the first picture, which is the initial character list, except for Moon Knight, of course, because he wasn't out, neither was Bucky. But I personally am going to be a Star-Lord main. I tried that character and I loved him. Luna Snow, which is a healer, and Jeff the Shark were really fun for me, because those are the more of the support types. I really do like playing support if I have a competent team that we can talk to each other.
Offense.
Exactly. I'm okay with my teammates handling the offense, and I just back them up or sometimes do my thing. And those are the type of characters I like. But I recently saw a video of Black Widow and Hawkeye, the teasers and stuff like that. Dude, those characters are actually busted. So is Iron Fist. So Luis, you might actually really like Iron Fist, because he has a quadruple jump or some shit like that. He can jump 4 times in the air, and he can use a spin kick or something to launch enemies away, so you can just launch them off the map or something. And then your ult is just insane. You have a defensive stance too, changing your stance, and it just makes you, I think it mitigates damage or something like that. But all these characters have such interesting kits. They're just insane. You gotta try them all. Jared, you're gonna play on PS5, right?
Most likely, yeah.
So I heard on PS5 there is, for Penny, there's a Venom skin, which is a purplish, really cool skin. But then for Spider-Man, there's another skin. I forgot which one it was, but it was it's the red and black skin.
The red and black skin.
Let me actually post a picture for you guys.
Yeah,
I found the picture. So I'm on a website, and here's the picture. Sorry, I took a pause because it had one of those. Do you want to disable ads? This one.
Oh, that's dope.
This skin for PS players is sick.
It reminds me of Kane from
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
it's Kane.
Yeah.
I think it is that. The viewers, they probably know what we're talking about. Yeah, Kane, Scarlet Spider, that's what it was. So, yeah, it's going to be cool. And then for Wolverine, Luis, you might like him too, because if you have a Hulk on your team, the Hulk can throw Wolverine across, I don't know about across the map, but he can throw the Wolverine.
The fastball special.
Yeah, the fastball special. It's like the comic book move that the two of them share together, like a team up. And this game has team ups. So there's different characters that just work together because of their team ups. I think Black Widow and Hawkeye expect to have a team up. I don't know if they do though, but I'm expecting them to.
Most likely.
Well, yeah, this game's gonna be sick. I definitely think it's gonna be on no respawn. I could see any one of us recording videos on this game, to be honest.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Sounds pretty fun.
Wait, did you say that it was crossplay?
So I don't know if it's crossplay. I'm assuming it isn't. I heard something about you can't have an account on PC and play on PS5 with the same progress. But you might be able to play against PlayStation players while on PC. Because I remember playing against them during the testing, or at least people on controller, I'm not too sure. But I think there is cross-play, it's just not cross-saving play, like across your account.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun.
Heck yeah. I've seen you stream it back when it was in, beta?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked fun.
Yeah, in our Discord chat that we had with our friends, I would stream it sometimes, and the game was a little bit laggy back then. I'm hoping it's not laggy anymore, but it was fun, to say the least.
Oh my god, lag. Yeah.
Yeah, it's my go-to. Alright, guys, I'm gonna need you to close your eyes and don a persona, because our next segment is a very important one, and I want to get your opinion on these two Reddit posts that I found. I frequently look at Reddit when I can't sleep at night, and one of those subreddits I followed or something like that, or joined. Yeah, I joined months and months ago, and I forgot about this one, is called r/relationship advice. And it's both interesting and sad at the same time to see what people are going through and the struggles they're going through. So I want you guys to, whatever title you want to give yourself, you can give yourself the title right here on the podcast. Are you a love guru, relationship therapist, all that jazz? What do you guys want to call yourself right now?
You go first, Jared. Please.
Just right off the bat?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna say coach.
What?
My friends call me coach.
God damn it. You know what I'm gonna say?
Yeah.
Assistant coach.
Assistant coach? Okay. You know what? I'll be the love guru, don't worry. So, right now, I'm going to read out two posts for you guys. I'll also post them in the Discord if you want to read it with me, just in case. This is the first post, and I'm just going to read it out for you guys, so you guys can just sit back, relax, and listen if you want to, or read it with me when I send the link and stuff like that. But we're going to look into these, and give some advice based on our experience. And even if we don't have experience in the topic, we can still give advice, because these ones I picked aren't like insane, but they're kind of like, oh, okay, let's think about this. You guys ready?
Yes, sir. The title's crazy.
Alright, yeah. So, I, 36 female, almost died and spent a week in the hospital, and my 32-year-old male boyfriend never visited me. Is that a deal breaker? I've been with my boyfriend for 2 years in March. Our relationship has had issues. Specifically, he doesn't really ever want me to sleep over at his house, and he's extremely avoidant in crisis situations, and when I've needed support, and he just disappears. He's got bad anxiety and ADHD, so I've really tried to be understanding, but I'm always the one making compromises in what I want, and he never really has. Although we've been working on it and he's made some steps to show me he wants to work on it and move forward and get serious with me, like moving in together, we talked about eventually having a kid. We really never fight except over stupid stuff like if he's stressed and I talk too much, or just if I want to be over there more and he needs alone time in his space. So before Thanksgiving, in parentheses, we were planning to spend it together. My appendix burst, and because I didn't have insurance, I waited too long to go in, and it got really, really bad. If I waited even a couple more hours, I likely would have gotten to septic and died. The thing is, my boyfriend seemed more annoyed I missed Thanksgiving and didn't go to the doctor sooner than he was concerned by my well-being. For my well-being. And like, I didn't even have a lot of money, but I had to take a lift to the hospital and he never even offered to take me. And since I've been admitted, he didn't come visit me or even send flowers or anything. Excuse me. I'm finally going to be discharged Wednesday and he might visit tomorrow, but it's like kind of too late, you know? I'm not exaggerating. I've never felt this bad before in my life, and I just wish I had some support. I don't have family or anything, so I've been here alone the whole time. He calls me on Discord at night, but he won't even watch what I want to watch. Reddit, what do you think? I don't want to break up with a good guy, but I don't know what to think about this. It's made me feel pretty bad. He didn't care to come visit at all. I would have made sure to every day. It's hard to read this. I would have made sure to every day and stayed with him with as much as I could, like going to the hospital with him, etc., if the situation was reversed. Appreciate any input. I do love him. I don't want it to be over, so how can I work on this with him? I mean, I hope this wouldn't ever happen again. He said he'll come when I have to get it removed, so I don't want to make this a big deal, except I still feel hurt over it. What are your thoughts, coach and assistant coach?
Dude,
that is not a good guy.
That is not a good guy at all.
That is not a good guy at all. That is a piece of shit if I have ever heard one. Like,
Yeah.
So, to start off, I understand about, having like anxiety and whatnot and being overwhelmed by things. That's understandable. But when your partner of 2 years literally had their appendix burst and they're like in the hospital, regardless if it was just at that moment or they've been like sitting on it, the last thing I would think about is why did they miss Thanksgiving dinner? Like, that's so selfish of them. I'd be like, I'm going there right now. Fuck everyone else. I'ma see how you're doing, because that's priority number fucking one. Like, that dude is a piece of shit.
What coach said. But yeah, no, that's crazy. I mean, yeah, and then to still just be like, yeah, I'll go visit you like on Wednesday. You're still gonna be there, right? Like, type of thing. I don't know. Like, it's just like, yeah, I guess I'll just go over there when I have time. Nah, not it.
Do you guys think what happened is, like, the relationship is still salvageable, or do you think this is grounds for breaking up if she really wanted to?
Break up. Like,
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because the thing is this was a life or death situation, and this is how you responded in a life or death situation. Like, I could have died, and then you were just more like, I mean, yes, of course, I can receive a scolding that I sat on it after the fact that I, survived, but regardless of that scolding, the thankfulness of your significant other still being here is, just a lot better than if they weren't, than being right, or like, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
Yeah. I think you guys are right. What, do you have anything to say, Jared?
No, exactly what my assistant said. Yeah.
Yeah, my opinion, I'm looking at it again. They've been together for 2 years, and if you want to have kids and your appendix bursts and he just disappears on you, or in the past he's avoided situations, crisis situations, he's avoidant to it. This isn't someone that should be the father to your children, because when you're pregnant, you're going to be on the couch, like, you don't want to get up. You're going to practically text him, call him, shout at him, hey, can you get this for me, please? And he's going to avoid doing all these things for you. This is a broad assumption, but he's doing all these things right now before you're even pregnant or even have kids. How is he going to be when you're pregnant and when you have kids? And honestly, like, I feel like if you want a lifelong partner, like you guys said, they need to be there in these situations, regardless of how scared they are. There's no excuse, in my opinion, for abandoning your partner and then being like, why weren't you at Thanksgiving dinner? Like, bro, why didn't you leave Thanksgiving dinner? Like, what?
Bro.
Like,
she had to call a Lyft.
That guy also strikes me as the type to also, if he was with her, he'd be like, oh my god, don't make a scene. Like, if she was like, you know, like actually like a dude, like, I mean, yeah, I feel like he'd be like, dude, don't make a scene, cause like that's gonna cause a lot of attention to like us, and then like I don't know what to do, or like don't call the police, like, you know what I mean? So it's just like, if he has anxiety to like do anything, and this is like, it's so much easier to like be vulnerable, right? Because he's choosing to scold her about being like, oh, you should have gone, as opposed to like, you know, yeah.
Are you
I
okay?
agree.
Yeah, exactly.
That should have been the first thing you said, like, hey, are you okay? If my family member said, I'm going to the hospital, I would have called them immediately and been like, I'm on my way, which hospital? Like, I've had that happen. And so, I just think, I agree, like, this is grounds to break up. I understand this person doesn't want to break up, and that's completely on them. But your partner needs to go through some therapy, and maybe you too, if you want this to be a lifelong partnership where you have kids together and, you know, get old together and stuff like that. Because if your appendix bursting, as, you know, as scary as it is, like, she did wait too long and stuff, so there is some fault on her for doing that. But she didn't know any better, so it's not necessarily like, oh, you should have known better. It's like, no, she just didn't know. No one's a doctor in this situation, I'm assuming. And it's on the guy to apologize and realize where he went wrong too. Like, if she has to explain it to him how he went wrong, then sure. But there's some therapy that needs to be happening here so he can become more okay with crisis situations and able to handle them. Because I wouldn't want to be with a partner who, if she couldn't handle, like, oh, my foot's broken, I need you to take me to the hospital. If she's like, I can't do that. Why should I be with that person?
He also said that you self-sabotage yourself by not going, and then he said, fuck you. What?
Yeah.
Put that man in a grave. Put him in a grave.
Oh my god.
Get him out of here, brother.
Yeah.
Break up and go to jail.
Yup.
So, I think we all agree this is a relationship that she should not be in. She should break up with him. At the end of the day, it's her choice. We respect her choice, but in that same situation, I would have broken up with my partner for not visiting me or sending me any flowers in the hospital. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Not even like a fucking card that says like, hang in there.
Dude, yeah.
As corny as it is, yeah.
Like, just something. Jesus.
All right, let's get with the next one. I'm gonna link this one. This one, I think it has a similar like craziness level to it. This one's titled, I, 34 female, went to a wedding with another man after my husband, 30 male, had ghosted me for multiple days.
What?
Is it worth telling him?
Okay, let's
There's a lot
see.
to unpack here.
Let's
lot.
see.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's just
Let me.
see. God damn. Oh my god.
All right. So this woman says, my.
What's the rating of this
34
podcast?
female.
Sorry.
Yeah. So I was trying to find things that weren't too insane. Like, I didn't want to find things that were always about sex on this subreddit because people always ask about that. But these two topics were topics that I felt, you know what, this could get a dialogue between all of us. And even if we disagree or agree, I think we all have something to say.
Yeah, definitely. Messed up. Alright, go for it.
All right. So my 34 female husband, 30 male, and I have been married for a year and dated for 2 years before our wedding. Of course we had fights, but nothing like what has happened recently, been happening recently. We moved to a new apartment this year and he started acting weird. He wouldn't talk to me about anything. He never wanted to have sex, but still spent hours doing the thing in the bathroom. He didn't want to go out anymore, but pushed me into going out with my friends because he wanted to be alone. He started arguments all the time for dumb reasons. He frequently didn't come to bed and sleep on the couch, instead claiming he was working. A month ago, it was my best friend's birthday. My husband and I were going, but at the last minute, he got angry and refused to go. He insisted I should go and practically forced me out of the house. My friend's brother, Ethan, who's 37, was there. I haven't seen him in years since he moved away for work. I used to have a huge crush on him when I was in high school. He told me he was back in town and was planning to stay. We have been casually texting since then. Last week, my husband and I had another fight. He said he couldn't tolerate living with me anymore because I was too annoying and always harassing him after I complained about us never going out anymore. He told me he needed time away and was going to stay at a hotel for a few days. I tried to call and text for him to come back, but he ghosted me. Ethan texted me Friday. I told him my husband had left. He told me I needed to get out of the house and not think about it. He had a wedding of a friend from work the next day and invited me to go with him. I love weddings and I didn't want to spend another day crying, so I agreed. We had a great time at the wedding. Nothing happened between us, but I realized that the two of us being there could be misinterpreted, so I told him to not tell anyone. Yesterday, my husband returned. He cried and apologized for everything he has been doing these last few months. He promised that things were going to change and that he is starting therapy right away. He told me he didn't mean any of the stuff he said and that he loves me more than anything in the world. It is clear he's been dealing with issues, but I love him and want to save our marriage. I am unsure if I should tell him about the wedding with Ethan. It doesn't matter, and telling him might make the situation worse, but there's also the risk of him finding out. What are your thoughts, coach and assistant coach?
I think that it was fine on this one. I mean, it seemed like, I don't want to say it. Yeah, no, it seems fine because it seems like they were friendly. They really went over there as friends. So yeah, I mean, she had kind of been pushed to a certain point as well, especially just being very ignored. I mean, that's crazy if you're ignoring your wife if you're living under the same roof, if you're married. I mean, just for months on end. Like, if you need space after discussions and stuff like that, and stuff like that, that's understandable. But months on end, and especially just like, no intimacy, nothing like that. It seems like she, was just kind of in a, again, pushed to a certain point, not necessarily justifying it, but again, at least she was very mature and still an adult about the situation. I think that she should let him know, and I don't necessarily know if right now is the correct time, sooner the better, but I think that is an example to him as to, how far she had kind of gotten. It's like, okay, I'm willing to go ahead and go to a wedding. Nothing happened. Nothing absolutely happened. But I went to a wedding and reconnected with, said person because you canceled on me. Like, you've been making me feel like, this and that, very distant. And, And if that isn't a tell, and again, she was gracious. A lot of people would probably, cheated on their partners for way less. So, or have just left them, given up on them, this and that. So yeah, I think that it's just a good kind of reference point to where things are at. And Hopefully, it's all action after this. Sorry, on his end. Hopefully, he does go ahead and try to get better, because it's not fair for the both of them if they don't want to be there.
Yeah. What do you think, Jared?
Honestly, my assistant really hit the nail on the coffin there. Yeah, I agree. Definitely, because, like, you know, it seemed so bizarre when he was just, like, really almost like acting out, like, in front of her, really wanting to, like, be alone. Like, it almost felt like he was, like, hiding shit, you know, hiding some, like, ulterior shit. But regardless of that, I mean, she didn't do anything wrong. She did everything fine. I can understand the misinterpretation that she feels about it, and as long as he, you know, stays accountable and actually, like, goes to therapy, then, you know, I would believe that things could work out. And if she did want to tell him about the whole, like, wedding thing, I mean, yeah, she probably could. I would say, like, more in a controlled environment, like a marriage counselor or something like that. Yeah, but
Yeah.
regardless, it seems like everything kind of, you know, I say this in quotations, fixed itself. As long as, you know, the dude really stays accountable and really works on himself, because that was like a light switch flick of, like, moods that this dude went into.
It was very bipolar of him.
Unless he actually had an epiphany that day.
Yeah, the post-nut clarity. But, I agree with you guys. The thing is, I think I read a little bit of the comments, and the comments are, like, going from 0 to 100, left and right, like, opinions and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's Reddit. They're always gonna default say break up with them. They're always gonna default go to that, especially on these relationship threads. I think that you guys are completely right. I think that she should tell him. I think someone in the comments said of the Reddit post, like, just casually tell him. And yeah, it could just be her saying, oh, you know that day, like, you kind of kicked me out of the house and, you know, you ghosted me for a week, or you left the house and ghosted for a week. Yeah, well, I went to a wedding with a friend. And he's like, oh, cool, what friend? He's like, oh yeah, just a guy I went to high school with. That's all she has to say. Like, he hid a lot of things from her. She's not necessarily hiding anything by telling the exact truth of she went to a wedding with a friend and had a good time. I do want to shine some light on the husband's actions, though. I think it was very sus the way he was acting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, being in the living room on the couch. I'd rather sleep alone on the couch than with her. Like, it makes me think either A, affair, B, addiction to something like masturbation or something like that, which was actually mentioned in the post. I didn't say the word, but addiction to that, because he doesn't like to have sex with his wife, apparently, and he spends hours in the bathroom masturbating, is what it says in the post. And so I think he might have had an addiction to masturbation and or porn, and maybe he attempted to have an affair. This is an assumption, and that's why he went to the hotel or something, or wanted space to be able to do those things in the hotel just to himself. And I think he should have just communicated with her. Everything, I always say this to Luis, and Jared has heard me say this too, everything boils down to communication.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going through struggles with your partner, take a step back, like, and just think, okay, what am I feeling? What am I thinking? And then communicate that with them, or however comfortable you are with communicating it. The relationship doesn't have to end. He does have to go through therapy, and maybe they should do some couples therapy as well, but I do think he needs individual therapy. I think couples therapy could help them too. Not that I'm like a firm believer, but I'm a believer of, like, you know, if you're going to get married to someone, you should do a form of couples therapy prior to marriage and just see if you have any loose ends to tie or, like, things to align yourself on, all that jazz. I think it's important. I think it answers any, like, unanswered questions, and I think this guy was definitely hiding something, and she's also hiding something, and so I think their relationship isn't healthy at the moment. And if they want to stay together, it's not just about him being on his knees begging for her back. Like, they both have to do something about it. regardless of how small or big the lie is from each of them.
Yes, sir. Well put, Love Guru.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm always here. But I'll probably make this a thing in future episodes of doing like a little Reddit segment of relationship advice, because I do enjoy reading these. Some of these are a little too crazy though, so I try to find the tamer ones. This is one of the tamer ones, to be honest. People are getting insane with the questions. They just ask anything. Jeez. But yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
so I have a question. Yeah, I have a question for you guys. When it comes to the holidays, this episode's going to be coming out in December, middle of December or so. And my family has not put up the tree yet for Christmas, but we have the box out and ready, and the ornaments ready. How soon, in your guys' opinion, is too soon? And when do you typically put up any form of decorations or anything like that?
Before Thanksgiving is too soon.
Yeah, I can agree on that.
Can you the day after Thanksgiving?
Well, actually, I don't know, to be honest, because I don't mind if it's how about this? I don't mind if the tree is up, and if it's loosely decorated, because in my family, for example, we've only really had a fake tree, but we'll still decorate it. And for example, this year, not this year, but ever since we got this last one came with lights on it already installed, whereas previously you would get a wire, with the rope lights or whatever they're called. But yeah, I'd say if it's just tucked in there, it's it's in the spot where it's supposed to be, but all the decorations around your house aren't Christmas themed yet, then it's completely fine to have your tree up. But besides that, wait for the decorations till December 1st, or just after Thanksgiving. Appreciate Thanksgiving, those vibes too. Enjoy those vibes too.
Yeah. What do you think, Jared?
Kind of on the same boat. I think when it comes to setting up Christmas decorations for not only inside your house and outside, usually just after Thanksgiving, it's just go on ahead, set it up. That's the next big thing that's coming up for almost everybody. So yeah, I kind of agree with it. I think for my family, we waited, I believe it was maybe it was the day after or a couple days after, but we got the tree set up, we got all the ornaments out, and we just have it kind of sitting. I think my family was able to complete the tree, but we have other stuff that we need to start putting around the house. We still haven't even put out the lights outside of our house yet. We still haven't done that. So yeah, usually just after Thanksgiving, I think is the perfect time to do it. If you're doing it before, then you just look almost a little antsy, a little antsy for Christmas. And take your time. There's no rush on this.
Yeah, if you put it too early, you're that neighbor, But no, I agree with you guys. I think ideally for me, it's anytime after Thanksgiving, but when December starts, I'm cool with it. I don't mind it. My family, we have lights on the house year round, and we can change the color, so we don't have to really worry about putting lights up for Christmas, which just makes it easier. It's one of those remote things where you can manage it on the app or something like that. It's really good. It's actually really good quality, so I'm really happy with it. One thing I will say is that these stores that put on Christmas music the day of Thanksgiving or the day after or whatever, you gotta stop that, bro.
Yeah.
Chill on that, please. Do it when December starts. I'm cool with that, but it's still November and y'all are putting up Christmas music. in November. Like, come on, bro.
Exactly, yeah. Come on, bro.
Working days in retail.
But that actually leads me. Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude. All you hear is Mariah Carey.
Oh my god. Apparently she makes $3 million roughly per year off that song.
I can see it.
Good for her.
I can see it.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Infinite money
glitch at this point.
Dude,
Yeah. At this point it is. So let me ask you guys this. When you're getting a gift for, whether it be like your birthday, not even just the holidays, you know? Like, what type of gift do you prefer? Not like, oh, I like money. It's like, no, like, of a gift. Do you like a personal gift? Like, someone listens to you? And, like, let's say I ask Jared, like, oh, you know, what's your interest? And Jared's like, oh, I really like Pokemon. I really like this Pokemon and stuff like that. Or I ask Luis, like, oh, you know, what's something you're interested in? He's like, oh, I really love this new show, Smiling Friends. Like, do you prefer personal gift where like someone listens to you and gives you a thing based off that, or a gift where someone like hand makes something for you, like handmade, interest-driven gifts, all that jazz? Like, what do you prefer?
You can go first on this one, Gerard.
For me, I'm not to say that I'm not like appreciative of like someone who makes a more personal gift to me. I think but for me, it's like, if you get me a gift, I'm gonna appreciate it, you know? Like, I like outside like people outside of my family, I don't expect to get gifts. That's just kind of how I've always been, you know, kind of raised, I guess. I just don't expect like people outside of my family to give me like gifts for anything like that, you know? Like, if it's for my birthday, I'm not expecting y'all to like come up to me and just be like, oh, happy birthday, and then give me a gift. Like, you know, at most I'd expect like a text message saying, oh, happy birthday. I'm like, oh, thanks. But yeah, I mean, I'm cool with just the idea of like somebody just getting you a gift, regardless if it was like a lot of effort put in or not that much effort put in. I just appreciate the idea of you giving me a gift.
I personally, I mean, yes, I definitely feel the same way, but I definitely feel a lot better when it's not even necessarily like too personalized. It's just like, you listened. Like with Josh and shout out to Glenn, for example, too. Like when you guys just gave me like dark sports stuff for Christmas, I'm just like, yes, you know what to get me. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Or just like too, when Josh went to Japan, he'd be like, oh hey, like you obviously like, you know, like this Dragon Ball stuff, so Dragon Ball stuff, here you freaking go. Oh, you also like Harry Potter stuff, so you know, here you go. So those it's just like, dang. Gifts. It's just like, okay, cool, like, yeah, you know, you listen, and it's just that. Or I also really appreciate, and again, this also I guess kind of goes with listening. I guess the gifts that I kind of appreciate the most are stuff that I want, but I wouldn't get myself. You know what I mean? Because I think about it as like a luxury, and I feel like the two types of gifts that are the best are either like the utility stuff that you can like use, and they'll make your life a little bit easier, or a luxury that you just know that like that person like deserves, and you hear them, and obviously, you know, that's like obtainable, right? But that they're just like, you know, like, yeah, I want this, you know, like, yeah, that's cool. But just like, you know, obviously now that we're older, we gotta relocate or allocate our like money to different places to survive. So yeah, if you're ever in the spot to be like, even just like pay for food, honestly, like that's like just dope on its own. That's a gift in itself.
I agree. That's something that I never took it for granted as a kid. And I'll give my opinion on the gift thing in just a sec, but like when I was a kid, family members would pay for the food because they know, you're a kid, you don't have money. And I always appreciated that. And then I always had this increasing fear of like, okay, I'm getting older, I gotta get a job because no one's gonna pay for my food and stuff like that. I gotta start working so I can pay for my own food and stuff like that. And there were moments like that, like where I'd go out with friends and like I didn't have enough money to do certain things. So that just made me want to work even more. And it kind of boils down to what Luis said about the luxury stuff. I can be like that too. Like, for Christmas, some of my family members were like, do you want anything, Josh? And I was like, no, I'm good. And then one year I was like, actually, this year I do want something. And so I said, this travel backpack is something I really want. It was something I would use. It's a lot of money and I don't want to spend that money if I don't need it at the very moment. And so a family member, did the deed and, did it for me. Like they bought it for me. And it was a gift I'm always going to treasure because it's probably my favorite gift I've ever gotten because I can use it pretty much any day, anywhere. It doesn't have to just be for traveling. It's a backpack, but it's a really good backpack. But when it comes to gifts, I am a big fan of, meaning behind gifts. It could be a handmade gift. It could be like, oh, Josh really likes Digimon. I'll give him a Digimon thing. Or it could literally be like Luis sees a ceramic bowl in a store and is like, this is so Josh. And he buys it and gives it to me. Yep. That's like those types of vibes with me. It's just if someone attaches a meaning to it and explains it in a way, I can grow to really like a gift. I can really, even like in the first 10 seconds after they say it, be like, wow, it's amazing. I love it. It's just the meaning behind things is what matters to me. Yeah, I don't even care if the gift costed $1. As long as there's a meaning behind it, that's what I like.
Yeah, it's like that with music too, though, with me, because it's like if one of you guys has like a song that you like always play or something, or just one of your favorite songs, or also sometimes you just associate a song with a memory that you have with a person. Maybe it was like playing as you guys were in the car together, like driving somewhere on a road trip. But like I can also like a song more and also just purely listen to a song just based off of like I like this song because it makes me think of this person.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I see what you mean. Okay. Then I have one last quick question. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
I actually have not seen Die Hard.
You think so, Jared?
I'm sure I have, maybe like in passing, like back when like cable was a thing, but yeah. Explain your angle.
Yes.
I mean, I thought it was like almost like officially agreed upon that it was a Christmas movie not too long ago. Or maybe I'm thinking of what was it? Or maybe I was thinking of The Nightmare Before Christmas or something like that. I don't remember. I don't remember off the top of my head, but yes, it is 110% a Christmas movie. Will I explain it? No.
Yeah, we can keep it short, but I agree. I think I've seen like it as a kid, and I haven't seen it after the first time I watched it, so I'd hardly remember it. But I agree. I think it just has some of those elements that make it a Christmas movie. If we consider some of those rom-coms that Netflix puts out nowadays that take place during Christmas, where the only thing it has to do with Christmas is wrapping presents and like the Christmas time, then yeah, Die Hard's a Christmas movie. Like it from what I've heard, it meets a little bit more of the requirements than just taking place during Christmas. But yeah, it's a Christmas movie to me.
Dang, that's dope.
Anything else you guys want to say? Any other shout outs or announcements?
No sir. That well, again, just keep streaming Black Midfall. Again, Curse, Realm, Crypt, Linktree down in the description. POV, the Void podcast coming out soon as well. And that's pretty much it. Just The Boys Go South should be this month.
South.
So yeah.
Yeah. All right. right. Anything else, Jared?
No, I think that's about it. That's about it.
Alrighty. That's it for episode 15, season 2. Until next time, everybody. Y'all have a safe week, weekday, weekend, whatever. Take care, like, subscribe, all that jazz. Links down below, like Luis said. And we'll see you in the next one.
Peace.
Shout.